There's no time for a proper intro. Let's get into it. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another morning mug. Let's talk about video games. Today is one of the few morning mugs where I am going to talk specifically about one thing, because this topic delivered to us by the Wall Street Journal yesterday is that Netflix and Nintendo are working together on an original Netflix series based off The Legend of Zelda, in the vein of Game of Thrones. And I know that's the headline, and a lot of people already talked about this. I've been busy, but I just wanted to make sure that I get my 2 cents in, because I will say a lot of stuff in gaming news doesn't excite me. Being a retro person too, it's hard to get excited about a lot of things in video games, especially with 2014 being such like a lackluster year, in my personal opinion overall. This excited me beyond belief. Now, like I said, they did say it was in the vein of Game of Thrones, which is already pretty cool, but I don't think Netflix really needs to explain to us too much their style in the beginning. And now this is all supposed to happen, you guys. This isn't 100% guaranteed at the moment, but it was teased by the Wall Street Journal, which is pretty credible. And from what I think, I haven't read them in a very long time, like ever. Okay, also another thing to note, you guys, is no writers have yet been attached to the show, so there's no exact name to put on it yet, which I feel like that's something that's going to be super important in this in general, is that if we get good writers, good directors, it's something that's going to be extremely important, as we know as gamers getting so much failed stuff. Nintendo has dove into movies before with Mario Brothers and being such a failure. I feel like if they can get a good fans of the show, fans of The Legend of Zelda, people who know the lore, who know everything behind it, the timelines, even though the timelines can be confusing. Netflix does an amazing job. Now, I will say a lot of people are like, this doesn't sound that exciting to me, but I will say no, because in my personal opinion, Netflix has been solid. Netflix is one of the companies out there that whenever they put out something that has their name on it, not the stuff they let on their channel, their Netflix app, but the stuff that they make themselves, Netflix originals like House of Cards, which is freaking amazing, done extremely well. Hemlock Grove is pretty awesome. I never got enough time to really watch it, but I do know a lot of people that say it was amazing. Orange is the New Black, everybody I know raves about that show. I have friends at work, Elizabeth and Diana, and these people just absolutely rave like it's one of the best shows ever made. Marco Polo, which I just recently got into, and I freaking love the show, the art, the style, the production, the direction. It's done beautifully. And lastly, another one that I could think of off the top of my head was Turbo, was a Netflix original as well. And yes, it was a cartoon, based off a movie. It's one of the few cartoons as of recent that wasn't geared towards like my audience, my age group. There's a lot of good cartoons that are geared toward us, but this one was specifically, more for young kids, and it got me. I loved it. My son started watching it and I couldn't get enough of it. So I feel like with Netflix's, is that a word? Netflix's track record of what they've done, I feel like it's going to be pretty much amazing. Now, if it's going to follow the game as much as we would hope, I just hope that. We just have to cross our fingers as gamers and lovers of, Legend of Zelda series, that they follow the game as much as possible. But I feel like it's also like an extremely smart move for them as far as money goes, because yeah, you get the people who love the Netflix originals, which is a lot of people on Netflix. They promote the heck out of their own shows, obviously, which makes sense. And you're getting gamers, and gamers, we have been dying for a Zelda. I feel like it's one of the most requested things of anything for movies. Topics that always come up in Facebook groups or anywhere is, hey, if a video game, could be made into a movie, which one would it be? And most people are like, Legend of Zelda, why hasn't it happened yet? No, and everyone's also scared, like we still can be about this, like, God, is it going to be done right? And I feel like with Netflix maybe getting a hold on it, I feel like it will be done right. We've gotten all these adaptations on the internet before from other groups like IGN and independent producers who decided to make, teaser trailers that are pretty well done. And even videos like that, when I was watching it to do this for this episode, I was getting like overwhelmed, excited, even just looking at some of this fan-made stuff, like, oh my gosh, this can be so good. And I know another question that comes up to a lot of people is, well, Link is a silent protagonist. What are we going to do about him speaking? We've seen what happened in like the CDI games and Wand of Gamelon, and even just other things where his voice has been around. It's always been off and never seemed to work correctly, because yeah, Link is pretty much a silent character. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I'm not gonna, I will be right there with you guys, but also I don't know if Netflix can work in a way to where he still is silent and it works. There are some movies out there that have done stuff like that in the past, but I also feel like if they get the right people to do this, which, as I say again, Netflix usually does correctly, if they get the right person to do it, I feel like they could do it in a way that works. Maybe they'll be able to pull it off. I'm hoping so, because I would like to see a Link that can talk and talk correctly and not like the CDI stuff, you know, someone that can make us feel even more attached to him than we already are. So like I said before, you guys, this is a possibility that this goes nowhere. You know, a lot of companies like GameSpot and everybody was reaching out to Netflix saying, hey, what can you tell us more about this? And they are saying no. They did straight up say, we don't want to talk about this. Now, whether that means it's not true or not, I personally believe this will happen. I think that it's something that I want so bad that I think I'm gonna hold strong and be like, okay, this is gonna happen. We should like tweet Netflix. Seriously, we should all tweet Netflix and Nintendo and be like, hey, make this happen. Don't let us down. You guys can do it. Let's let them know that we have faith in them. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that say, hey, you can't do it correctly. Don't ruin this. But I feel like maybe we should give them the confidence. Be like, hey, get this. Let's get this involved. Get Right Gamers involved. Get people who love the game involved. Get the developers, people who actually work on The Legend of Zelda to help out. You know, not just random people that jump in for movies. It sucks. Lastly, let's cast this movie. Let's send them cast ideas. All right, let's just pretend. I'm gonna go for Link. All I can think of is Orlando Bloom because of Legolas. It's like stuck in my head. I can't seem to get it out. For Ganondorf, how about we go with, I got it. We go with Gerard Butler, but 300 Gerard Butler. None of this P.S. I love you, none of this sissy stuff. Gerard Butler could be a good Ganondorf. I feel like some people would want some CGI involved, but I feel like I'd rather have that harsh makeup and that harsh, thick attachments to his face with special effects on his body to give him that tough. I still will say to this day, you guys, Gerard Butler, you're not watching, but why? Why did you do all the girl stuff? You were like the next big Mel Gibson, Braveheart, Man of Man, guys. You came out as Leonidas and I was like, oh my God, this is the next man of all men. And then you did like all these chick flicks back to back to back to back to back. What were you doing? Zelda, we should get Emma Watson. She's beautiful. She's cute. She's petite. She's a good actress. I think people pretty much support her in everything she's ever done. People love her. Let's go Navi. I'd say a shrunken down Keira Knightley. Yeah, I like that. A shrunken down Keira Knightley. That'd be good. Who else? Epona can be Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
That's mean. I shouldn't say that. I don't mean that. That's messed up. All right, now lastly, question for you guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it will happen? Will it happen? Do you want it to happen? Do you trust Netflix? Do you not trust? Who would you want to direct this thing? And also, who would you guys cast? I think that's a fun question. Tweet me too. Let me know on social medias all across. Be like, hey, this is the cast of who I think should be who, if we could dream and reach for the stars. I know Netflix original series is going to be more like mainstream actors and actresses, not so much like the movie people. You know, the big Brad Pitt is Link. He's too old now. It sucks. Getting old sucks. I turn 30 soon. All right, guys, but like I said, please let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if this video made your day a little bit better, help make mine a little bit better by liking the video. Did you hear what I said? Link, do it, man. You got to do this for us. Remember, guys, to keep gaming fun, I'll talk to you next time. So dumb. That was dumb.